Welcome to the Pub Sports Radio MLB Closing Time Show for Monday, May 31st, and a happy Memorial Day holiday to everyone in the United States. Hope you enjoy the holiday with your family, with your friends. You're getting out there a lot more normal than Memorial Day was last year. That is for sure. Hopefully you have some fun. Get those fireworks out. Get a couple of burgers and hot dogs on the barbecue. All that great stuff that is associated with this holiday. I hope you enjoy it. I've rocking the old American flag T-shirt today for the holiday. So I hope everyone has a very good American Memorial Day holiday. And a reminder, and I said this on Twitter, enjoy the holiday, make the most of it, have fun, but don't forget the real reason and meaning behind the holiday. The people that pay the ultimate sacrifice, the people that allow us to have these lives that we enjoy on a daily basis, the armed forces, the troops, there's EMTs, there's healthcare workers. It's everybody, to be honest with you, that is a public servant, essentially. We want to thank them on a day like this and pay homage to the duty that they fulfill on a daily basis. The duty that we fulfill is trying to give you winners here on a daily basis from an MLB perspective on the Closing Time Show. Conor Mac, Skee Profit with you. It was a very frustrating Sunday again for me. What else is new? We only went I actually went 1-1 with the best bets yesterday. Padres, Astros overcast, but Oakland, I mean, my goodness. I mean, getting two hit by Quintana and that Angels bullpen, which is hideous. I mean, talk about absolutely pathetic for the Oakland Athletics. Unreal is right, Connor. We felt the sting of that when we saw Keegan Aiken, a lefty, a bad lefty, shut down this White Sox team for 5 innings yesterday. That was frustrating too. But nevertheless, we turn the page. We move on to this Memorial Day card. Lots of day games, but that's not a surprise. We get that on Memorial Day. So let's get to it. Lots of day baseball to keep us going throughout the entire day. We'll start with Minnesota and Baltimore. My voice can hold up here. We got Berrios and Lopez here on the mound. Minnesota minus 150, road favorites, 8.5 the total in this game. Berrios on the road, I don't really love backing him, especially at this price. I mean, he's obviously the better pitcher. He's had a decent season, 5-2, 3.67 ERA. He has done well against the Orioles, 3.27 ERA in 7 starts against them. He got the win against Baltimore just 6 days ago. Minnesota, it's still a situation where their lineup just can't keep guys healthy. Max Kepler now the latest to get on the injured list for them, hamstring strain. So you got concerns there. Jorge Lopez on the other side for the Orioles. I don't feel good about backing him at all. 5.8 ERA for him so far this season. He struggled against Minnesota in his career. And then there's some ugly, ugly numbers for some of these for Lopez against some of these Minnesota hitters. Nelson Cruz, 3 for 6, 2 home runs, 500 average. Miguel Sano, how about this one? 5 for 11. 3 of those hits have been home runs against Jorge Lopez. So right off the top here, we've got Jack of the Day candidates for Minnesota in both Cruz and Sano, if you ask me, in this game. I do lean to the over a little bit, 8.5, because I think Berrios is more susceptible to give up a few runs on the road. I do think Minnesota will get their share in this game as well. So with the total below that key number of 9, I do think the over is worth some kind of small bet at the very least. What do you think here, C-Mac? Orioles, Twins.
Yeah, I'm going to lean the Twins here with Berrios. Not that he's been really great, but 5-2, 370 yards, 63 Ks. Lopez hasn't. He's got 45 strikeouts. He's 1-6. He walks a ton of guys. He walks 4 or 5 per 9 innings. He's lost 3 in a row. He's given up a bunch of homers lately. He normally does. 9 in his last 10 starts. That's why we talked about Sano and Cruz. Look out for homers. So I'm going to go Twins first 5 here, a half a run. Bring it down here to like minus 110, minus 115. And I'd look maybe over full game, but I'm just going to go Twins first 5, half a run. I'm going to fade Lopez. But yeah, I think there could be runs today. Runs haven't come for me lately in a lot of these overs that I've kind of picked. So I'm going to stay off that. I'm just going to go Twins first 5. Hope Berrios pitches well here against the Orioles and go from there. And yeah, like you mentioned, Sano and Cruz, definitely Jack of the Day guys. Hopefully they get to Lopez earlier.
No doubt. Skee, what do you think here, Minnesota, Baltimore?
Pretty much in agreement. Disagree. I think that Berrios, from what I was looking at, he's been better on the road than at home. I think it was like a 2.6 ERA compared to like 4.7. So I think he'll be pretty solid in this spot. Jorge Lopez, is somebody I want to fade whenever I see him out there. And the Orioles, 13 losses in a row. It's hard to back that team in general.
Yeah.
So I'm looking towards the Twins on the first 5. Definitely think Barrios can get there. I would even look at the Twins minus a run and a half. You mentioned some guys for Jack of the Day. Yeah, they got some really good slugging potential. So Twins first 5 and full game run line is what I'm looking at here.
All right, we have the Tampa Bay Rays and the New York Yankees. Rich Hill, Jameson Taillon on the mound. New York minus 125 home favorites. Total 8.5 shaded to the under. I'm not the biggest Rich Hill fan. You know that. But to me, this is a wrong team favored in this game. How are the Yankees minus 125 in their current form? I mean, it's just been an absolutely brutal stretch of baseball for them. How do you get swept by the Tigers? Holy gosh, that's a terrible, terrible weekend result for this New York Yankees team. Absolutely terrible. They're not hitting at all right now at this point in time. Their team batting average just continues to drop and drop and drop. Aaron Boone's starting to get, he's usually very even keel, calm, cool, collected. Nothing really shakes him or rattles him. But even he's getting fed up. He's like, I'm ticked off. We all should be by the way we've played. We need to turn the page and be better. So now they're returning home off a road trip. That's never a good spot. And they're laying a price, and they're a struggling team, and they're not hitting right now. It's just a really rough time wanting to lay any sort of price with the Yankees right now. Rich Hill, look, 3.63 ERA this season. For as much as I'm always worried about him, he's crafty enough to know how to pitch, and he's got a lineup that he's facing today that can't hit their way out of a wet paper bag at the moment. And his last start was decent, 2 runs allowed, struck out 13 over 8 innings, very impressive. Really since the beginning of May, he's had his best numbers. It's only given up a 134 batting average against, 1.26 ERA in his last 6 starts. His track record against the Yankees is only mediocre, 4.05 ERA, but the last start against them was very good. He allowed just 3 hits in 6.2 innings, shutout baseball back on May 13th facing this Yankees lineup. Like I said, I'm not sold on Taillon, 5.06 ERA on the season. In fact, it was these 2 pitchers that went head-to-head in that game, May 13th, and it was Hill getting the better of Taillon. I'll back Hill. I'll back the better team at an underdog price. That's the way I'm going here. First 5 full game split with Tampa Bay. I mean, this to me, the Yankees as chalk, no thank you. What do you think, Connor, Rays and Yankees?
Yeah, you said it. Rich Hill's pitched pretty good this year against the Yankees. Yankees just keep not hitting. I took the under yesterday. It barely got under. They gave a bunch of runs to the Tigers, 6 runs there. I like the Rays here. I'm going to go first 5. I'm going to go the first 5 under 4.5. I wouldn't even mind full game. The Yankees got a good bullpen. Full game at 8.5 has been pretty good for me too. That's one team. I look like Padres, Yankees. These teams have good pens. I'll go full game unders because I like my first 5 here. Keep it to the starters. But definitely the Rays here at a plus price. First 5 plus 110. And first 5 under 4.5.
The Detroit Tigers aren't rolling out the Roy Halladay's and the Sandy Koufaxes and the Randy Johnson of Major League Baseball starting pitchers here. And the Yankees scored a grand whopping total of 4 runs in those 3 games. Do you realize how pathetic that is for that lineup against that pitching staff, that starting staff, that bullpen to only score 4 runs in 3 games against them? It's brutal. It's bad as it gets right now for this Yankees lineup. Skee, what do you think? Tampa Bay, New York.
I'm in agreement with you guys again. And also, Ian, I mean, I'm not big on Rich Hill either, but I have to respect what he's done lately. Like you mentioned, 12.7 innings pitched versus this Yankees team and only giving up 4 runs. If you look at his last 27.9 innings, only gave up 3 runs. So he's pitching really well. And hard to understand why the Rays are a dog. Their bullpen has been much better the last 5 days. And I like the Twins. I like the Rays on the money line.
All right. We all like the Rays here in this one. Yeah, I'm sorry about the harshness toward the Tigers. I give the Tigers credit. They played a nice series. Obviously, they played a really good series sweep in the Yankees, but that lineup against Detroit pitchers, let's be honest, the Detroit pitchers still is nothing to write home about their pitching staff. You should be able to do better than that if you're the Yankees, but that's been their issue. They have not been able to hit for a while now. Detroit, Milwaukee, a little interleague action. Speaking of those red hot Tigers, we've got the Tigers and Brewers here. Milwaukee up to minus 270 favorites in this game, as high as about minus 270 is what I'm seeing here, minus 280 now, minus 290 even in some spots. So a lot of money's been pouring in on Milwaukee and Corbin Burns here against Tyler Alexander, the lefty, the total 7 across the board. There's nothing really to write home about with Tyler Alexander for Detroit, 4.35 ERA. I do like the way Milwaukee's starting to play. They're getting a little bit more clutch hitting. Pitching's been rock solid. Nice series for them over the weekend against the Washington Nationals. But boy, I mean, that's a huge number. That's a huge, huge price with the Tigers feeling a little confident, a little momentum after sweeping the New York Yankees. The Yankees are a mess right now, so I don't think you want to go crazy giving the Tigers too much credit for sweeping that series. But nevertheless, Corbin Burns is definitely the better arm. There's no question. There is a sizable pitching edge in favor of the Brewers here in this game. I'm not involved in this game either way. Certainly, I favor Milwaukee in this game, but just I'm priced way out of this game with Milwaukee being up to minus 290 in most spots. Connor, what do you think with the Tigers and the Brewers?
Yeah, just too big a price here. I like Burns, and we'll see if we can get Alexander. Both these teams, like you said, the Brewers have been hitting a bit better. They're getting a little healthier. Yelich is back, even 7 in this spot. Lead under 7 in this one. I'm probably not going to play it. And yeah, the Brewers almost minus 300. They should be around there, but not that high, I don't think. And I can't lay it. The run line's minus 130. Just a game I'm going to stay away from. But I lean under first 5 under 3.5 and full game under 7 here.
Yeah, the spot concerns me a little bit for Detroit. This is still not a great team by any stretch. They're just coming off this thrilling sweep at home against the vaunted New York Yankees. And now you're traveling on the. I worry about that, Connor, 100%. I'm not a big spot guy in baseball when it comes to NBA and NFL
me either. Yeah.
and football. But this one stands out where I worry about that Detroit mindset today a little bit. What do you think here, Skee? Detroit, Milwaukee.
Yeah, Urania, he had a solid start last time, but I don't know. He's untrustworthy is the word I would use for him. And Corbin Burns is the opposite. He's a guy I want to back every single time he's out there. I didn't have a price as far as when I was looking at the lines earlier this morning, but you said they're minus 290?
Yeah, it's either Urania or Alexander. I have both in multiple sites. What do you have? You have Alexander, Ian?
Yeah, I have Tyler Alexander.
There's still no starter.
Yeah. Tyler Alexander. Okay. Yep.
Okay. Well, I probably need a little bit more work on checking that one out. But in general, I always look to back Burns or back the under. So those are ways that I lean right now.
Yeah, definitely. Philadelphia, Cincinnati. Next up, we have Velasquez and Miley in this matchup. And Velasquez has been a conundrum for me. He's pitched a lot better than I ever envisioned he would coming into this season. Taking on Wade Miley, the crafty veteran lefty for the Cincinnati Reds. Right now, we've got the Reds actually pretty much even money here in this game. Both sides, the Phillies and the Reds, the total 8.5 here in this game. This is a very fascinating handicap in terms of the Velasquez versus the Reds lineup, half of this equation, because you've got Vince Velasquez, who's got a 2.95 ERA coming into this start. And he's pitched very well against them. But you start to look at some numbers for the Reds against him. A couple of guys have really hit him hard, including Castellanos and Naquin and Barnhart. Castellanos is the one with the more significant sample size, 3 for 7, 429 average. So that's standing out there. And again, you're pitching in probably one of the tougher venues that he's had to pitch in this season here, a Great American Ballpark. But that being said, I'll give Velasquez all the credit in the world. 1 run or less allowed in 4 straight starts for him. Now, you look at the lineups he faced: Milwaukee, Atlanta, he pitched well. Toronto, he pitched well. You got to give him credit. And Miami. Now, 2 of those lineups are pretty weak. 2 of those lineups are actually pretty good. So, you can't really say that, he's a phony baloney, if you will, for these 4 good starts that he's had going into this outing here today. So he's pitched well. I'll give him the benefit of that doubt. Wade Miley, if you take away, I don't know what happened to him against Colorado a couple of starts ago, but if you take that away, he's been pretty damn good every other outing he's had this season. 2 runs or less in 4 of his last 5 starts allowed against Philadelphia. He's pitched well against them in the past. His numbers against some of these Phillies hitters are quite good. Really, the only guy with significant success against him is Real Muto, and that's a limited amount of sample size, 1 for 3. That's it. So Wade Miley's done well against this Phillies team. I kind of lean Cincy here. around even money. But, it's just Velasquez has been the bane of my existence this season. Bet against him has not worked out well for me, so I'm not really rushing. Lean Reds, but that's it. Connor, how about you?
Yeah, we got 99 people in here. Everyone in the chat, we appreciate it on this Memorial Day. Hit the like button when you get the chance. We appreciate it, whether it's up, down. Thanks for being here. Thanks for that one, Big Show. Always on the reminder. You're right.
Yep.
Real quick, Miley has been really good against this Philly lineup. I mean, going through these numbers, I'm a little astonished. 3 for 18, 3 for 16. No one's really hit him well here. I'd lean the Reds. I like the Reds yesterday. I like the over a little bit better. And they scored 3. It got 5-0, and just there was a ton of games like that. Even the Angels A's, it was 4-2 after 4. No more runs with those bullpens. I'd lean the Reds here. I take a -106. But Velasquez has been my thing too. I've faded him. I think I took him once. He lost. He's just me and Vinny don't get along. So I'm going to stay far, far away from this game. But I'd lean Reds with Miley. He's been pretty good all year and pretty good against this Philly lineup. Yeah,
you got to give Velasquez credit. I actually think the over could get there today because it's 8.5 in this ballpark. The Reds bullpen has been bad. Even if Miley pitches well, the Phillies bullpen thing, I think you could get runs later. This could be one of those where maybe you pump the brakes on a full game over, even though I lean that way. Maybe get a little bit in game if this game starts off with runs at a premium. What do you think, Skee, with the Phillies and the Reds?
I felt a little bit different about this game. I'm looking at the bullpen for one. The last 5 days for the Reds, 2.81 ERA. You go the last 10, 3.7. So I think they're pretty trustworthy outside of Miley. And Miley's trustworthy too. Like you mentioned, he got smacked up at Coors, but I think he's pretty solid. Velasquez, from what I remember in previous years, I didn't think that guy was any good, but he's been looking really good lately. 3 runs his last 33 innings. Neither team, I don't think, is hitting the ball that well as of late. So I lean more towards an under here. I think I can trust both starting pitchers, and I trust the Reds bullpen, probably first 5 under and full game under.
Yeah, you know what, Skee? I think I like that, but it just the Velasquez over his career and even Miley, who's pitched well, it just gets, like you said, it's ingrained in my head, so it's so difficult to take a first 5 under. And I'd love to hear visions of Velasquez over the years just getting pounded, but he's pitched well, so it's just difficult. Like, and Sean said in the chat, he's due for regression. Tough one here to, just a pass. I think it's a good game to pass.
San Diego and Chicago Cubs, Chris Paddock and Cole Stewart, the pitching matchup here at Wrigley. We've got the Padres -145 to -150, road favorites, 9.5 the total, shaded to the over. That pretty much gives you a sense there is a wind blowing out, and that is indeed the case. As soon as you see 9 or more with the total at Wrigley, you're dealing with wind blowing out, and that's exactly what we've got here in this game today. Paddock, so far this season, 3.61 ERA. I got to admit, he's pitched better than I thought coming into this season. The Padres, this is another one, though, where from a spot perspective, they're coming off that big series against the Astros, so be careful. But I like the fact they're coming off getting beaten pretty soundly in that game 7-4, losing to the Astros on Sunday. So I think it's going to be a situation where you're going to want to see them bounce back. Paddock was very good in his last start. 1 run, 2 hits allowed against Milwaukee last Wednesday. And he's pitched pretty well against the Cubs. Actually only faced them 1 time and shut him out through 6 innings. So that's good for Paddock going into this start. Like I said, Cole Stewart, he's going to be stretched out, called up from AAA down there at Iowa. And he pitched, looks like, to a 3.68 ERA, 9 earned runs allowed in 22 innings pitched at the AAA level this season. So not bad. But again, now you're going to be asked to go up against a very capable San Diego lineup. We'll see how he fares here. Going to be a bullpen day of sorts for Chicago. Don't know how Paddock's going to fare. He might fare well here in this game, in my opinion, because I actually think he's starting to turn a corner a little bit. If I were to bet something in this game, and I don't love the game, but if I were to lean one way or the other, maybe a Padres team total over, maybe I could get there with that. That's definitely something I might consider here. Other than that, not a real strong feel for this one. How about you, C-Mac, Padres and the Cubs?
Yeah, maybe a Padres team total. I don't love this either. I don't love Paddock on the road, -140 against the Cubs team, other than yesterday, that's playing pretty good, winning games. just don't know we're going to get out of Stewart. Like you said, the wind's blowing out a little bit. Just a difficult one for me. If you like the Padres, you're thinking you're going to get to them. Maybe the Padres' first 5 half a run. I'm just going to stay off. I just don't trust the Cubs or Stewart right now. But I'd lean them at a plus price, full game. I'm just going to stay away, though. Took him two beating yesterday, so I need to scale back.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, especially as we get later and later into the baseball season. Like, we're almost in June now. Once we get to July and beyond the All-Star break, you're really going to have to be picking your spots because you're just not getting the value that late into the season that maybe you did in April, May, and June. So you're right. You got to maybe tighten the belt a little bit the longer this marathon of a season that is Major League Baseball goes on. Skee, what do you think here? San Diego, Chicago.
Yeah, my handicap got kind of messed up in this one. I heard you saying Paddock and Stewart, and on my sheet I have Musgrove and Williams. So
yeah.
It's
Musgrove threw out long relief yesterday for San Diego, and I don't understand why Tingler did that. Why are you throwing Musgrove in a game you're not going to win? He's one of your key starters this year. That's bad managing. I'm sorry. That's terrible managing by Jace Tingler yesterday.
It just didn't make sense.
For? Yeah, in that situation. In a game you can't win, you're down 7-1 at the time. You're going to throw Musgrove in long relief in a game you're down by 6 runs. What kind of managing is that? I didn't get it one bit.
Yeah,
it was strange.
I guess I have the slightest lean towards the Padres, but nothing really concrete behind it because my sheet is messed up.
Yeah, it's blowing out a little bit, the wind. If you could trust these two guys to get through the first 5, I mean, it's at 5.5 minus 110. Like I said, you got to get to 6 there. So I'd lean first 5 under a little bit here.
Yeah, no, it's not your fault, Skee. It's Jace Tingler's fault. Like, Musgrove's supposed to start today. Instead, you're throwing him out there yesterday down 7-1 in that game. Like, does anybody understand why that was done? Like, he's one of the better starters for the Padres. And in fact, you need him even more now because of the fact that, Blake Snell's been a mess for you this season for the most part. So it is absolutely mind-boggling that he pitched in that game late when you're down by 6 runs. But nevertheless, next up, we've got as we continue on here, it is the Chicago White Sox and the Cleveland Indians. This is the first game of a doubleheader today between these two teams. Rodon and McKenzie on the mound. We've got the White Sox here currently in that minus 175 road favorite range, 5.5 the total. Again, this is a 7-inning game, hence why the low total. And also, Rodon is on the mound. Another reason, hence the low total. In this game. He's been absolutely brilliant, magnificent. This might be one where you could get away with a White Sox run line. Run line on the road. I like a run line on the road with the favorite more than I like it with a home favorite because you're going to get 9 innings out of the road team. They're going to be at bat for 9 innings, not just 8. Sometimes that's the case with the home team. I think the run line is the way I would go here. Rodon, I think, can run over this Cleveland lineup, which is doing absolutely nothing. Don't be fooled by the rally against Toronto in the second game of the doubleheader. That was all command and control and walk problems that led to that rally by Cleveland. Cleveland didn't even have to put the bat on the ball yesterday to win that second game against the Blue Jays. That was not their offense coming to life, and their offense has had problems the last few games. I think Rodon shuts them down today. McKenzie's a mess. He got sent down because he couldn't keep his control and command in check, walking guys left and right. And now you're going to trust him back in the rotation again here? No, against one of the better lineups. So White Sox run line, that's the way I would look in this one. C-Mac, what do you think?
I agree with you. It's not too many doubleheaders I play, but with Rendon on the road, get the extra at bat like you talked about, you're getting plus 100. And McKenzie was supposed to go to AAA. It was only Plesac's injury that made him not go, and that's why he's making this start today. And he has not looked good. He threw one good start all year that I saw. So I go with the White Sox. Rendon's been nothing but just unreal. And the Indians can't hit lefties. So maybe lean under the 5.5 full game, but I think the run line's even better here, like you mentioned, at plus money.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit more value for sure. Skee, what do you think here with the White Sox in Cleveland?
I don't play these games at all where they have double headers. It's just, I don't know. It's too much that goes into it, and I don't love it. I'll say that McKenzie has been iffy, and I don't trust him. I definitely trust Rodon a lot more. White Sox have been winning. Their bullpen has looked better than the Indians' bullpen the last 5 or 10 days. So I would lean towards the White Sox, but like I said, it's not going to be a game that I'm playing.
All right, next game. You know what? We're going to do the game. We'll do game 2 of the doubleheader, but with Chicago and Cleveland right now, because really we don't know who the starter is as of right now for Cleveland. It's going to be, it looks like Jimmy Lambert for the Chicago White Sox, but we don't know who's going to start the second game of this doubleheader for Cleveland. We'll give you a little bit of a background here on Jimmy Lambert, called up from AAA Charlotte to start this second game of this doubleheader. So we'll see how he fares here. It'll be his first ever major league start. So we'll see if he's ready for that. In terms of, what he's done down there in AAA with Charlotte this year, it's not good. 7.71 ERA, 10 earned runs allowed in just 11.2 innings pitched in the AAA level this year. So that's nothing to write home about. If there's one game where maybe Cleveland's bats could wake up, maybe it's this game, because Lambert's AAA numbers are hideous coming into this start. We don't know who's going to start for Cleveland. I'm probably not betting the game, but just keep in mind that Chicago, if you like Chicago today, you might want to bet them in game 1 with Rodon, not necessarily with this guy, Jimmy Lambert, because his numbers in AAA down there have not been good at all. What do you think, Connor? Any thoughts here?
Yeah, game 2, I won't be betting it. Like I said, I rarely bet double headers, but I like that first one with the White Sox. I bet one the other day and won. I'm going to be off. Yeah, don't know who the Indians are pitching. Lambert hasn't been good. His AAA numbers aren't very good. Just a total stay away. Classic doubleheader. Don't know who's pitching. Don't know anything. Stay way away.
And I assume you're doing the same, right, Skee?
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
Absolutely right. No moss with the double headers for Skee Profit. All right, we move on here. Next up, we've got the there we go. We've got LA Angels, San Francisco Giants, Dylan Bundy, Johnny Cueto, your pitching matchup here in this one. We've got the Giants. Obviously, how about the Giants over the weekend against the LA Dodgers? A hell of an impressive job by them in that series over the weekend. We'll see if they can keep it going here against the Angels. How about the Angels, too? I mean, shocking Oakland, really giving Oakland some problems. The Giants minus 145, home favorites here in this game, the total 8 across the board. I like runs to be scored in this game. The Giants have scored, I think, at least 3 runs now in like 9 or 10 straight games. Like, they have just been consistently been able to at least put some runs on the board. I thought they did a really good job against some of those really good Dodger pitchers over the weekend. Urias, Kershaw, they just got to him early in that game yesterday, which was quite a surprise. If you're getting to some of these Dodgers pitchers, shouldn't you be able to get to Dylan Bundy too? I mean, he has really had a tough run of it for the LA Angels. He's definitely gone back into the Al Bundy level of pitching this season for the LA Angels. It's been a rough stretch for him. I'm not really all that enamored and impressed with Johnny Cueto right now. He is fighting. Every single start is a battle for him right now. He's not having any clean innings. He's getting walk issues. He's having guys on base every inning. There are definitely issues with Johnny Cueto. He is not 100% right at the moment. I think we see runs today in the Bay Area, and the total's reasonable here. 8. The San Francisco bullpen's a little iffy. The Angels bullpen, now they have pitched a little bit better. I can't explain why Oakland couldn't hit them yesterday. They're still
2
not,
games in a row.
they're still not an overall bullpen. I trust the Angels, even though they have been a little bit better lately. So I think we get this game over the 8 here, over the total. Angels, Giants. What do you think here, C-Mac? LA Angels, San Francisco Giants.
Yeah, maybe. Cueto's just been so bad. He kind of, since he came off the IL, he's just gotten rocked. And Bundy, my guy Al, he's 0-5, 6.5 ERA. He hasn't looked good all year. I like the over a little bit. I lean that way, but this is another game I'll just stay away. It's San Francisco. I could see a 3-1 game, a 3-2 game here. I lean that way, but I'm staying far away. I lean the Giants. They've been playing a little bit of the better ball. Just came off that series with the Dodgers, though. Maybe it's a little bit of a little spot here. And Angels just going down the road after beating the A's. Probably feeling pretty good. So maybe the Angels, but I can't back Bundy.
Yeah, I pretty much talked myself out of betting the Giants in multiple games against the Dodgers over this week. I'm thinking that price with some of these pitchers, it's too steep. And Gossman and some of these others, and I'm like, I didn't bet it. And I'm like, so now after missing out and not getting involved with the Giants over the weekend, I am not ready to lay minus 145 with them here. No way, especially not with Cueto. In fact, maybe the Angels have some value. But again, you got to back Bundy if you think that. And he's been
Yeah,
absolutely
back
roughed
Bundy.
up. That's why I like the over. Just neither side give me runs here. What do you think here, Skee? Angels, Giants?
I'm still thinking about the Al Bundy. That was a show, right? What show is
Married
that
with
Yeah,
from?
yeah,
Children.
married with children. Yeah,
Okay, I
One of
remember.
the best
That
sitcoms
was a
that
good
I've
one
ever
there.
seen still to this day.
yeah, it's a classic.
Dylan Bundy, I'm looking at not last 9.6 innings. He's given up 17 runs. So I
Yeah.
can understand why you like an over, Ian. I like an over probably too in this one. And if you say Cueto is hurt, that's definitely going to put me on runs. You know, coming into this game, I was looking towards backing the Giants, but I wasn't necessarily aware that Cueto was hurt. I was thinking he's more trustworthy than Bundy, and I didn't really want to get involved with the Giants bullpen, so I wanted to take the Giants on the first 5. But now hearing you say that, Ian, I'm going to look towards the over as well.
All right, yeah. To me, it looks like these are two vulnerable starters. And look, let's give the Giants lineup credit. They've been hitting a lot better lately, so hopefully that continues today. Gas Station Sushi liking the over. Good to see you, Gas. Happy Memorial Day to you, everybody in the chat. Happy Memorial Day. Hope you're enjoying the holiday. Oakland, Seattle. James Caprillion, Logan Gilbert on the mound here. Oakland minus 130. Road favorites here in this one, total 8.5. I definitely lean Oakland here, but guess what? I'm staying off Oakland for a little bit. You know, they're in my bad books right now. They kind of pissed me off a little bit the last few times I've backed them. So I'm not backing them today. I do like Caprillion a lot, though. He's pitched well, sub-2 ERA, really good stuff. And another thing is, look, Logan Gilbert has had a rough transition to the big leagues in his first few starts with Seattle, but this guy still does have good stuff. I think at some point he's going to find it and get better. And I don't want to be on the losing end of going against him when he finally has that step up, improved start. And I think that might be today because look, Oakland, we've seen Oakland the last couple of days. They're getting shut down by Quintana and bad bullpens, you know. So if Gilbert finally, you know, starts to improve a little bit, he could go out there and shut them down today. You know, after what I saw yesterday from Oakland, they can get shut down by anybody. How on earth they get 2 hit by Quintana and that gas can bullpen of the LA Angels yesterday? That's hard to fathom, hard to stomach that if you're an athletics fan with that pathetic offensive performance yesterday. So I'm off Oakland for a while. I like Caprillion. I lean that way because he's been so good, and Oakland is still the better ball club, but Gilbert's going to turn it around at some point. I don't want to be on the losing end of it if that ends up being today. What do you think, C-Mac, Oakland, Seattle?
Yeah, I'm off here. That A's offense is just shit the bed the last 2 days and shit all over me. I want nothing to do with here. Caprillion's been good. He threw 7 scoreless against these Mariners just, I think, last week. Gilbert gave up a few runs through 4 innings, maybe a first 5 under 4.5 here. It is minus 120. That'd be my only lean. I'm going to stay off both sides too.
Yeah, just a clear stay away. Want no part of it. What do you think here, Skee? Do you want a part of it? You'd be the only one. Oakland, Seattle.
Well, you know, I lean towards the Athletics. Gilbert, like you said, or you think he's going to get better. I'm going to have to see it first because last 10.7 innings, he's given up 9 runs. So that's not good for me. And I look at the Athletics bullpen. I think that they've been okay lately. I can't say his name. I think you were trying to help me out, Ian. Caprillion. He's been
right. Caprillion. Yep.
Okay, he's a guy maybe I want to look towards backing, or maybe if you don't want to back the A's, you back his strikeouts. I know he averages over 6. If his strikeouts are 6 or less, it could be a way to look in that game. But it's the A's or it's backing his strikeouts for me. Only ways I'm looking.
All right, yeah, I don't disagree with that. We got to see what Logan Gilbert does in a good way before we get on the saddle with him. Boston and Houston, a good matchup here. Red Sox and Astros. Eduardo Rodriguez, the lefty for the Red Sox. Jose Urquidy for the Astros. We've got Boston actually slightly favored here in Houston, minus 110 to minus 115. The total up from 8.5 to 9. When you look at this matchup here. This is a good matchup for the Houston lineup on paper. They smash lefties. This is always where they've done a lot of damage throughout with this core lineup. They've always been a good lineup against lefties. And you look at some of this track records. Altuve, 2 for 7. Carlos Correa, 5 for 7. 7-14 against Eduardo Rodriguez. Alex Bregman, 3 for 7, 2 home runs, 429 average against Eduardo Rodriguez. In fact, you can add Alex Bregman of the Astros to my Jack of the Day candidate list. I think putting a couple bucks on him to hit a home run today against Eduardo Rodriguez makes some sense coming into this game. You've got Urquidy on the other side for the Houston Astros. We'll see how he goes. He's actually been pretty solid overall this season for the Astros, 3.22 ERA. But first start for Urquidy since being on the injured list with a right shoulder discomfort, posterior injury. And that's a significant injury. It's your throwing shoulder. It's a good Boston lineup. I am not sold on him rolling out there today. First, start in well over a couple of weeks now, and being able to shut down this Red Sox lineup. He does have actually he had very good numbers before the injury, but I don't like this spot for him to be at his absolute best. I just don't. And the way the Red Sox have been going this season, offensively, it's going to be, I think, a challenge for Urquidy. And not only that, he's going to be on a pitch count. They've already said that. Dusty Baker has already hinted at that. They're going to monitor the pitches and they're going to limit him. They're going to have a little bit of a leash on Urquidy today. And why is that significant? Because the Houston bullpen, it's been a theme on this show the last couple of days with Connor and I. They've been taxed. They've been overworked. They've been overused. They're fatigued. They've not had a day off in several days, and they're not getting a lot of length from their starters. Prior to yesterday, Greinke's finally, give him credit. He gutted it out and gave them some length yesterday, but still, it's a bullpen that's had to throw a lot of innings for the most part over the last several days. So Boston could score late in this game, in my opinion. I think there's a very good reason we've seen the total go up from 8.5 to 9. I agree with it. Over the total for me with the Red Sox and the Astros. Connor, what do you think here? Boston, Houston.
Yeah, I think this is over the total as well. And it depends on the team. Both over 4.5 or plus money. Plus 102 for the Red Sox, plus 115 for the Astros. I look that way. I look the Astros maybe early first 5 here. I mean, they're already even money. Just take them. I love the Astros against the lefty. But like you said, maybe the Red Sox get runs late. But yeah, I love the over. This was one I had circled for the over when I went through it this morning. So I lean over and I lean Astros first 5 here. Team totals too. Right. Good value.
Yes. I agree with your Astros look, and anyone liking Houston, absolutely. First 5 would be I think a much stronger positive expectation bet than the full game with that not a depleted bullpen in terms of injury, but depleted in terms of how many innings they've had. It's a taxed bullpen more than anything. Skee, what do you like here? Red Sox, Astros.
I can understand the look on the over from what you're saying with the Astros bullpen. I do think Urquidy's pretty reliable / close to 18 innings pitched. He's only given up a couple runs. Eduardo Rodriguez, that's who's pitching on the other side, correct? He's a guy I don't trust. Like in general, I know that the Red Sox can hit and make up for it, but I would be looking towards playing the Astros. I mean, like you said, Ian, he's a lefty as well. That's a plus for the Astros. It'll be playing them or just betting this game over the total for me.
All right, we've got the Washington Nationals and the Atlanta Braves here. Joe Ross and Charlie Old Man Morton here on the mound. We've got Atlanta minus 180. Home favorites, total 8.5, shaded to the over. I'll give the guy credit, though, Morton, last start. Man, that pissed me off. I mean, he was on the ropes early against the Boston Red Sox. He really, really was. And they're just one clutch hit away from it being a dreadful, miserable start for Morton. But he just slithers his way like a snake, slithers his way out of it, and then he settles down after that. For the rest of the game and pitched a lot better against the Red Sox. That's what happens with these veteran pitchers. You don't hit them early in the game. They can settle in, and that's exactly what happened. He allowed 1 run in 7 innings after that bad first inning. He got in a groove, and the rest was history. He hasn't had a good track record though against the Nationals. 5.4 ERA this season, and lifetime a 6.14 ERA against the Nationals. But here's the problem: what is this Nationals lineup doing right now? Absolutely zilch, nothing. And it's hard to trust them right now. They are just a collective poor lineup at this point in time with their lack of offense coming into this game. So, Morton does have a shaky track record against them. But right now, the current form of this Nats lineup is definitely not where you want it to be. You look at the last several games, 0, 2, 1, 0. That's the last 4 games for Washington. Pathetic. 0, 2, 1, and 0 runs in their last 4 games. On the flip side, Atlanta's coming off a day off yesterday because Mets Braves got rained out the Sunday nighter. They lost 13-2 the night before against the New York Mets. They look to bounce back here against Joe Ross on the mound for the Nationals. A guy that's actually last start not bad for him. He actually is coming off, I think, probably his best start. He didn't last long, 4 innings against Cincinnati, but shutout ball. He faced the Braves once back on May 4th, and he allowed 2 runs in 5.1 innings. But again, in 7 starts against the Braves, his track record ain't great. 6.43 ERA. So if you're believing in the struggling track record of Ross against the Braves and the poor track record of Morton against the Nats, you should be liking over 8.5 here. And look, betting Atlanta games at home over the total has not been a bad thing this season. They've been an over machine at home, but you got some counter arguments to that. One is Washington's not hitting a lick right now, even though Morton struggled against them. And the other argument is, you've got Joe Ross coming off his best start, even though he struggled against the Braves. So I still lean over 8.5, but there's a couple of things that are pulling me toward not so much being as strong on that as I initially thought. What do you think here, C-Mac, with Washington, Atlanta?
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, the only guy is Starlin Castro's really got to Morton. 13 for 36 with 3 homers. He's done pretty well against this lineup. And you're right, they just haven't been hitting. Even Soto, he's in a bad slump. I mean, he's down to the 200 line, floating around there right now. Of course, he'll get going. He's way too talented, way too good. But they're just not hitting the baseball right now. I'm with you. I lean the Braves here. The number's huge. That organization's going through some tough times right now with the whole Ozuna thing and everything that's going on there with that guy. But I lean the Braves. First 5, half a run, full game run line. They're the home team. I don't really love it, but the numbers are huge here. Freddie Freeman, 5 for 12 with 2 jacks, 5 for 12 for Dansby, 6 for 4 for Albies, 7 for 3. 3 for 7 is Acuna. He's got a homer. I lean Braves here in this one. First 5 or run line, however you like it. Half a run.
All right, Skee, what do you like here? Washington, Atlanta.
I don't like this game at all, really. But the Braves bullpen has been really poor. Last 5 games, I see a 10.12 ERA. So I think I don't want to get behind them. If you like the Braves, I think you'd have to take them early. And at the price, I just think I'd rather take the Nationals just for that reason. Plus 160, I think they'll have a shot. I mean, they haven't been able to hit lately, but maybe that bullpen helps them out. So it'll be just taking a flyer on the Nationals at the plus 160 price.
Yeah, it's a really tough game. I mean, you don't want to lay that much with Morton and the Braves. I don't, but hard to stomach back in Washington right now, who's just not hitting a lick at the moment. Next up, Pittsburgh, Kansas City. Cool and Minor, the matchup here in pitching-wise. Kansas City minus 190, home favorites, 8 the total in this one. We got another situation here where you got a guy returning off the injured list for the Pittsburgh Pirates and Chad Kuhl. Removed from the 10-day injured list to make this start. He had a 6.32 ERA before hitting the injured list. So I ain't backing him. First of all, I don't even know if he's going to be sharp, after all the time off, being on the IL. And second of all, he was not pitching well at all prior to getting hurt. So not on him. Minor 4.83 ERA coming into this start as well. The Royals, we'll see if the Pirates can do some damage against him. It's not exactly a Pirates lineup that's been very good of late. You look at the Pirates, guys, 1-1-1, 3-1-3. Oh, you had one game where you scored 7, back down to 3-3. I mean, it's just not a very productive lineup right now. So, and the one thing about Minor, he's not very good, but he can shut down lineups that are feeble. And the Pirates lineup is pretty feeble right now. So it's a pass for me. Connor, what do you think?
It's a pass for me, but I've really thought about this. Mike Minor, minus 190? No freaking way. Pirates have won some games here lately. I know they kind of beat up on the Rockies a little bit. I'd be all over the Pirates and Cool here. Not that I like him at all, but at first 5 innings, plus 170, get a few runs off Minor. It's just, can you trust this Pirates offense to get a few runs, like you just mentioned? But I think it's too much value with the Pirates. First 5, plus 170, take a stab at it.
Yeah, I mean, they had lost 7 in a row before winning 2 or 3 against Colorado. Now it's Colorado; they're dreadful, but hey, you got to start somewhere when you've been losing. Skee, what do you think? Pittsburgh, Kansas City.
I think that Royals bullpen has been pretty solid. Mike Minor a lot better than Chad Cole. Last 18 innings pitched, 6 runs, which isn't great, but it's better than 12.7 and 12 runs. Giving up a run an inning, that's not somebody I want to back. So it'll be the Royals in this one for me, and only way I would look.
All right, we got a good one here. St. Louis Cardinals, LA Dodgers. Great pitching matchup. Jack Flaherty, Trevor Bauer, your matchup here. We've got the Dodgers minus 185, home favorites, total 7 across the board. Dodgers trying to pick up the pieces really after the weekend series that was against the San Francisco Giants. And look, they've got a guy that's got a .9 ERA at Dodger Stadium this year, Trevor Bauer. I mean, he's been absolutely magnificent. Certainly a guy you would want on the mound in this venue when you're trying to get back on track. But it's not going to be easy against Jack Flaherty for the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, he's coming off maybe one of his more shakier, I guess you could say, games and starts in his last outing. But the Dodgers have done absolutely nothing against Jack Flaherty in the past. Justin Turner's the only one with a significant sample size. You could say Bellinger and Muncy as well. Those three guys, Turner, Muncy, and Bellinger, how about a collective 4 for 28 against Jack Flaherty? So not very productive at all. This is a tall enough price where I'm on St. Louis here in the first 5 innings in this one. That's with all due respect to Trevor Bauer here, but this price with Flaherty has been a great pitcher. Okay, he was a little off his game last time out, but I think he can get back on the beam here, and it's going to be a tight, probably low-scoring start. I wouldn't talk anyone out of the first 5 under here as well. First 5 under, 3.5, and that's the problem though. It's 3.5 with juice. We know Connor and I don't love it in terms of value when it's under 3.5 at minus 125 like it is, but it sure looks like a 1-1, 2-1 at the most type of start to this game in the first 5 innings for sure. I would certainly still put a couple of bucks on that. And look, for Bauer, as good as he's been this season, guys, Yadi Molina 3 for 5. Arenado 3 for 5, Goldschmidt 2 for 5. So a couple of guys have hit him a little bit. So I like St. Louis first 5, and I like first 5 under as well. Connor, what do you think here? Cards and Dodgers.
Yeah, Mills. I like the Yankees Rays first 5 under. I even like the full game at 8.5 as that Yankees bullpen. Yeah, I'm with you here, Ian. I know it's minus 120, the 3.5, but Bauer's been really good at home. And other than that last start, Flaherty's been good. I still on the road to give question marks, but he's been really good against the Dodgers. But those Cardinals, that's why you want to look at the Cardinals here, plus 155 first 5. You mentioned it. Molino 3 for 5. Molina with a homer. Arenado 3 for 5. Goldschmidt 2 for 5. So there's some guys maybe they could scratch across a run or two. But I'm with you there. Value with the Cards first 5, the big plus 155, and the first 5 under 3.5.
And keep in mind, Cardinals first 5 only for me, because this is another team with a bullpen that's pretty beaten up and played and thrown a lot of innings lately. The Cardinals bullpen, so keep that in mind. What do you think here, Skee? Cardinals and Dodgers?
I don't think the Dodgers bullpen has been any better as of late, or at least like the last 5 days. And Dodgers lost the
problems. Yep.
Yeah, they were doing good, but the last few days have been shaky.
Yeah. And I just feel like the Dodgers, I mean, I always talk about baseball being one of the most streaky sports, but the Dodgers just go in these ways where they play really good, then they can't win at all. And going up against Flaherty, just put some numbers to what you guys said. I think it's 3 starts, last 3 starts versus the Dodgers, 19 innings pitched, 2 runs allowed. So I think he could bounce back here. And at the price, I would look towards first 5, and I would look towards the full game.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. That's the Dodgers. I'm looking at it. Yeah, Dodgers lately, the bullpen's not been as good, so that might wash. Like, even though St. Louis has thrown a lot of innings, you worry about fatigue with their bullpen. Maybe it's canceled out by the fact the Dodgers bullpen's kind of scuffled lately. You're right. What a streaky team! What would they win? Like double digits in a row, and now all of a sudden they've hit the skids again a little bit. This Dodgers team. Mets and Diamondbacks final game here. The Diamondbacks won a baseball game. Let's give them some credit. Yay! Diamondbacks won a game yesterday. Way to go, guys. Mets minus 170 with DeGrom on the mound here. Total 7.5. They avoided a 14-game losing streak with that win yesterday against the St. Louis Cardinals. Long overdue, I guess. Now, does Arizona get a little bump from that confidence? I don't know. I don't know if it's enough to take down Jake DeGrom. The Mets, of course, had yesterday's game postponed against the Braves, so it's a day off. So you got DeGrom and a rested bullpen behind him against an Arizona lineup that, look, yesterday they hit, but before that, they've been not exactly a potent offense by any stretch. Not necessarily trusting Arizona to string a second win together here against this Mets team. And look, DeGrom against the Cardinals, he is allowing this current Arizona team a collective batting average against of .093. That is the batting average against for the Arizona Cardinals or Arizona Diamondbacks against Jake DeGrom. That's an issue. Merrill Kelly, on the other hand, he's pitched a little better the last couple, but 4.84 ERA. I'm just not stepping in front of DeGrom and the Mets. Not really going to lay the price either, so I'm passing, but I would not want to get in the Mets' way here. Let's put it that way. Maybe you could lean an under. We'll see. But that Arizona bullpen, another one, not very reliable. What do you think here, C-Mac, with the Mets and the D-backs?
Yeah, that Arizona bullpen, maybe there could be runs. The Mets finally broke out, but they still can't score runs. So give me the first 5 under 3.5. I know you're taking a little shot. I know what I'm going to get out of DeGrom. He's probably going to shut him out. Can Merrill Kelly hold to 3 runs here? I don't know. This Mets lineup's not very good. I'll take the shot. Give me the first 5 under 3.5. He has been better, like you said, his last few starts. So, but he still hasn't won a game since April 27th. So, but I still lean that way. The Mets, every time DeGrom takes the bump, they can't score for him. So give me the first 5 under 3.5. You're -115.
It is like clockwork. I will say that. There is something that keeps this Mets team from giving Jake DeGrom. Hell, there's been games this season he's had to hit for himself, to get some runs on the board for this Mets team. And Jake DeGrom's actually one of the better hitting pitchers in Major League Baseball. And that's how bad it's been for this. And look, the Mets have had so many injuries. Conforto, McNeil, Alonso, among others, have been out of the lineup for a period of time. So it's not been easy, but still hope they would be a little bit more productive than they are usually with DeGrom on the mound. Skee, what do you think here with Arizona hosting New York?
Yeah, big show. That 6 wasn't any good at golf, race 1. Diamondbacks, Mets. I had to double check. I just put it up on my thing because DeGrom was supposed to pitch yesterday, wasn't he?
Yeah, it got rained out.
And I looked at the first 5, and it was 2.5. So when I heard Conor say 3.5, my eyes light up. I'm like, okay, we're back in it now. 3.5.
That was with Freed with the Braves yesterday. They had a 2.5 for those two on the mound.
Yeah. Okay, so extra day of rest for DeGrom. I like that. Merrill Kelly, I think he's been better at home. You want to definitely avoid the Diamondbacks bullpen. And like you said, nobody hits for DeGrom. So I'm with you. I like the first 5 under 3.5.
You nailed it, too. I mean, Marte 0 for 9, Ahmed 1 for 10, Walker 0 for 7. These are 1 for 6 for Peralta the whole way down. I mean, they haven't hit him at all.
Ownage.
So
they call that ownage. That's what they call that, ownage. And that's what DeGrom is.
He owns them.
Ownage over this Arizona lineup, 1 through 9. And look, when you got those kind of numbers that are on his side, it's really hard to argue with things changing all that much going into this start. So yeah, first 5 under, I would not talk anyone out of that. You might be onto something there. You would think based on DeGrom's numbers, Arizona is not going to be able to scratch out much of anything against him tonight. But good stuff. That is the Monday MLB card. Hope everyone enjoyed the analysis here on this Memorial Day. We hope you have a great holiday the rest of the day. Hope you enjoy it. We will get to Jack of the Day and Best Bets in just a second to wrap up the show. Before we do that, though, as we do each and every show at this time, we'll pause for some messages from Manscaped as well as Southtown 101. All right, there you go. Southtown 101 in San Antonio, Texas. Make sure you check them out. Great food, drinks, live music, DJ karaoke. It's my kind of bar. Check them out when you're in town. Manscaped, 20% off, promo code Pub Sports. Make sure you check them out. All you guys out there, take care of yourself with the incredible array of male grooming products courtesy of Manscaped, promo code Pub Sports, and as well mybookie.ag, promo code Pub Sports, with the NHL and NBA playoffs still ongoing on a daily basis for still well over another month. Lots of playoff hockey and hoops still ahead. Baseball daily. We got U.S. Open golf, French Open tennis now is underway. Lots to keep you involved. Mybookie.ag. Again, Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit. Mybookie.ag, promo code Pub Sports. All right, it is time for the Memorial Day version of the Jack of the Day.
Well, see you later.
There it is, Jack of the Day, and I'm going to mention mine off the hop as I've got two. The one is about to start. Miguel Sano, Minnesota Twins against Jorge Lopez of the Baltimore Orioles. I wouldn't talk anyone out of Cruz, but I like Sano even more. And I like Alex Bregman, Houston Astros, against Eduardo Rodriguez today to hit a home run. So Bregman and Sano, my two favorite Jack of the Days candidates today on this Monday Memorial Day card. Conor Mac, what do you got for us for Jack of the Day?
I'm with you with Sano. Give me him to start right now in just a minute. And my other one, I'm going to go Freddie Freeman. He's had days off. He's 2 for 12 off Ross with a couple homers. So give me Freddie Freeman, Jack of the Day.
All right, Skee, any home run candidates today?
No, the only one that stood out to me was Sano.
Cruz?
About to go off here. I mean,
you like Cruz too.
Cruz.
You like Cruz.
I meant not Sano. I meant Cruz. My bad.
Yeah.
Blanking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just locking them in now. I just realized, holy shit, these games are about to start. I haven't locked in any of them yet. So there we go. I got to lock them in. Sano and Cruz, 100%. I like both of those Jack of the Day candidates. There we go. We're in with those. See how quick it is? You got to love mobile betting. Mobile app betting is just awesome. Just 2 seconds, bing, 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 you're in. I love it. All right, great stuff. It is time now for best bets for the show. Let's go to Conor Mac first. What do you like for best bet?
Well, the game just went off right now, but I'll give you another one. I like the Yankees Rays. I split it up first 5, under 4.5 in full game because I love the bullpen. Under 8.5, minus 115. But I'm going to go back to a doubleheader and back to the team that screwed me yesterday. Give me the White Sox on the run line, Rodon on the mound, plus 100. See if they can get it done today. Screwed me yesterday. Come on, White Sox. Pound them today off Lopez. So White Sox nice. Run line, plus 100.
Yeah, be nice. Yeah, exactly. Be nice. Yeah, I did cut it, but that's also why I gave you Bregman, because that game's later. That one doesn't start till 4 p.m. Eastern. No, Jack of the Day, someone asking, it looks like we need some clarity. Yeah, Jack of the Day asking, that means the player will score a run, right? No, that means hit a home run. That is the Jack of the Day. So make sure when you're betting these Jack of the Day props that we're giving out, make sure you're not betting total bases. Make sure you're not betting how many total runs they're scoring. This is home runs. And a lot of these guys, if they hit one, you could get a nice bang for your buck with them. We're talking plus 275, plus 350, hell, sometimes plus 400, plus 500 with some of these guys to hit a home run. Great value.
And it's up to you. You could add on extra. Like you could do total bases too, because you think he might hit a jack. Maybe you want to add over 1.5. But yeah, for us, it's just a homer, just kind of our Jack of the Day. Guy's going to hit a bomb. He's got great numbers off the pitcher.
Yeah, exactly. It's all based on what we see the numbers. And they're in good form as well. You usually like to also make sure that hitter's seeing it well at the plate at the current point in time. All right, Skee, what do you got for your best bet today?
I'll just rock with DeGrom Day. I like the under 3.5. As long as we're still above 3, I'm pretty confident in it.
All right, awesome. There you go. Under 3.5, Mets, Diamondbacks. First 5 innings for a Skee Profit for his best bet. Mine is going to be, we split yesterday. We had the winner on Friday and Saturday, so 4-1 over the weekend with best bets. We'll take it. We'll see if we can continue it here today. Let's go to Boston, Houston. I like the over there. Boston, Houston, over 9. Red Sox, Astros. I think we'll see some runs scored in that game. Boston, Houston, over 9. My best bet for this Memorial Day MLB card. And that'll wrap up this edition of the MLB Closing Time Show. Thanks to everyone in the chat. It's a holiday. You wouldn't know it. 160 people watching us live, taking time out of your Memorial Day to listen to us break down the card.
Sure.
We appreciate that 100%. No doubt about that. And you're not done with us yet. We're back in 3 hours, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, NBA Pub Hub with us three along with Dutch Boy Fresh, and we'll break down the Monday NBA playoff card, sides, totals, props, you name it. We'll give you all that we're on in the playoff games tonight in NBA action. So join us for the Pub Hub later this afternoon. For Conor Mac and Skee Profit, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Memorial Day afternoon, and we'll see you in a few hours for the NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio.
Peace.